packers, and there were so many more processing and co-packing options, in the 200 mil and larger. There are several, though, good options for the 1 to 4 ounce, that range that we're looking for. But when I said that the size mattered for us, we had 2 lines of liquid water flavoring, and we were finding that as we trued up the costs for those, that the one was much more effective at doing it, so we wanted to consolidate. And we did. We have a 60 mil for the water enhancers, and we had a 50 mil for our kind of coffee and tea flavorings. And so as we went through a good 2 years of production, we realized, hey, we need to consolidate these together. And that's what we ended up doing, is consolidating to the exact same bottle, and taking advantage of some scale benefits as well.
So you consolidate it all into one co-packer so that you would get economies of scale with the volumes for both of those SKUs?
Yeah, and it's not, there were 2 SKUs. There were 10 or 11 SKUs. I think now 12. But
okay.
We had one line of business that was in one, and the other that was in another.
Got it.
And there
so
were a few other. Yeah, and there were a few other things we looked at. We wanted to have a good. We didn't want to have a standard, stock bottle look. We wanted to be differentiated from our competitors. We ended up, though, going with a pretty stock bottle, and that was a little disappointing for us because we wanted to have what some of our competitors have, which was a more unique profile to create a brand identity.
And the manufacturing process with these smaller size bottles, is it automated from beginning to end, or is there a manual piece? Trying to understand, if it's automated, I'm assuming it's going to be much quicker, and you would get better pricing.
Yeah, we were able to do it in an automated way, and that was one of the advantages of using stock bottle and to using some of their formulations as well. The only manual portion was we would ship to our own distribution facility. Everything, would come straight to our distribution facility, and then we would sometimes handle different channels a little differently. We would be able to create multi-packs or to ship directly to e-commerce directly to consumers, but the actual manufacturing at the co-packer was done end-to-end as an automated process.
Okay, so when it came into your distribution center, it was in finished good packaging, but sometimes you would break down those finished goods to create specialty packs. Am I understanding that correct?
Yeah, and we certainly wish that the co-packer could do a little bit more of that for us, because it added a considerable amount of cost for us. But and that was our challenge. You'll notice too, a lot of the competitors and the growing brands are selling directly through Amazon. And if you're interested, I can go into some of the ways we were able to work through the Amazon distribution network, but only if that matters for you guys.
No, I think we're more curious on the manufacturing side. What about minimum order quantities? Are they? Were you finding that they were hard to meet for you guys? Like, give me an idea of what a minimum order quantity for SKU would have been.
Yeah, it was a little challenging. So, we could get to 2,000 cases per SKU. Cases were, we switched from 12 to 6 count. That's another consideration that helped us make the change, because we really needed a more we needed more retailer-friendly case sizes. But there are a lot of factors obviously here as well, and one of the main things for us particularly was that our shelf life wasn't very long, and so we wanted to be able to preserve as much shelf life and be able to ramp up and down.
What was your shelf life?
2 months. So, and I believe that we had labeled at 1 month to begin with, and then we gradually increased it. And that was one of the advantages of going with the new co-packer, was they could give us a slightly longer shelf life. And it's tough to predict, obviously, what your shelf life is going to be, but that was certainly compared to the more processed varieties like crystal light or MEO that I mentioned.